everyone and welcome to Improve Piano. This is Yahya with you, and today we're going to explore in different ways that we can steal from our repertoire that we're playing to create improvisation exercises. Today's exercise is going to be very simple. Even if you have just got started on the piano, you should be able to manage to get something out of this. So I'm going to play 5 examples for you, or just the opening of these musical works. And then I want you to think about, what do these 5 examples share in common? First one. Second one. Third one. Fourth one. And then fifth one. Okay. The answer may not be very obvious, but it is easy actually, because all of these pieces start with melodies or figurations that use notes from our tonic chord to create those melodies or figurations. So if we look at the first example we have here, so Bach's Prelude in C major. This is from his first prelude from the Well-Tempered Clavier Book 1. So what we have here is just a simple figuration that just uses the notes of the C major chord. So we can take that exact figuration and start to play around with it, even just within C major. So we can start this from E. We can start it from G. Or we can also probably use 2 different chords here in the right hand instead of 1. So we go. And these exercises only get more interesting when you start to transpose them. So I do recommend that you try to transpose this to other keys as well. So let's look at our second example here, and this was the second movement of Mozart's Piano Concerto number 21 in C major. However, this second movement is in F major. So let's look at what the left hand does here. That's just an F major chord, okay? Now, the right hand melody that starts goes like this. So the magic happens, I guess, when we put them together, but all of this really is just an F major harmony that is just emphasized in both the left and right hand. And it's super lyrical, so I call this example lyrical for that reason. We can almost hear the human voice there. And we don't have to use exactly the same direction of the notes, but as we are still in this, or let's call it getting inspired, which is something that a lot of composers do, of course, from these works, we can just use the rhythm, for example, as an element that we can repeat, but we can go up, we can go down. So let me transpose this, for example, to A flat major. And of course, you can transpose this to every other key. Now, this third example is what we call the Mannheim Rocket. Mannheim is a city in Germany, and the composers of Mannheim, the Mannheim school, invented this sort of opener that has arpeggiated the arpeggiated tonic chord as an opener to their symphonies and their sonatas, etc. So let's hear this example again. This is Mozart, Sonata K576, I believe, and it's in D major. So we can use that same exact figuration, for example. We can play it in different keys again, so B major, we can try it in G major. And then we can, of course, get inspired and get away from the theme itself, so we can go we can do this in, E flat major. Yeah, let's try E flat major. So you can create different interesting sounds just with the tonic chord. Okay, moving on. This is Beethoven's Rage Over a Lost Penny. So if you look at the left hand again, we have a G major chord. Right hand plays the notes of that G major chord. Okay, so you can use the same exact idea again, and what you can do is probably steal the rhythm again, I guess. That's one way to do it, but there are a million ways you can get inspired from these works. So let's try this in E major. I think I was also using, I'm getting inspired now from, I think it was still in my subconscious, the Mozart example earlier that we did, because I used a couple of dotted rhythms there. And this is where it starts to get interesting, because your subconscious is going to take over and you will not be thinking about what you're doing, but you are going to feel this spontaneity. And this is what improvisation is about. I make sure that my videos are not scripted, because I like that improvised aspect of it as well, even if it's not all the time perfect. So let's look at the last example we have here, and this is a great example. This is in C major. Of course, everyone knows this one. So all of this is just C major, sorry. Right? So now I like waltzes, and waltzes are great. So you can just play that C major. Just get the freedom of, and by the way, this is not always, it's not always going to sound good, and that's okay. That's okay, because that way you realize, oh, I do not like this sound, and then you sort of try to figure out what sounds do you like. And I highly encourage you to start doing this as soon as you can within your piano training. I know traditional piano methods and schools do not really push for a lot of improvisation, but I do. And I make sure that all my students get some improvisation and get that freedom of speaking the language of music, just as they're getting started, because it's so hard to learn once you're already playing Rachmaninoff and all that stuff and you've never tried to make your own phrase. So please try this and let me know how it goes. If you have a piece that uses the tonic, the notes from the tonic chord as the opener of that piece, please drop it in the comments. I want to hear about it. And please hit like and subscribe for the algorithm. And I hope to see you all very soon.